My favorite thing about being a runner is the ritual of the Sunday long run. Most of the week I'm just trying to find time to squeeze in my runs, but carving out time on the weekend just for one long one is the best. When I was younger, it wasn't that hard to train for marathons and half marathons. Even my wife Laura and I used to train together. We could get up on a Sunday, plan out our route, and then later go have lunch somewhere and eat as much crappy food as we wanted to, completely guilt-free because we'd just run 10, 12, 15 miles. But training got a little more difficult once these little people moved into our house and our family grew. Suddenly, running had to take a little bit of a backseat. But we were okay with that. We were just cool being mom and dad, being home with the kids and enjoying ourselves. Then one day, life threw us a curveball. As soon as I got out of the hospital, I was anxious to start running again. And even though that made Laura very nervous, she knows me well enough to know that I was determined. Which is why on this crappy February day, she's banging out her miles on the treadmill in our garage, preparing for our first half marathon together in a few years. She also seems like she doesn't really want me to take her picture. I don't know, I guess she's just a little camera shy. So as I get ready to head out on my first 13-mile long run in quite some time, I know we probably won't set any course records the day of our half marathon. But since on the day of the race I'll only be like 9 months removed from having open heart surgery, I guess I'm pretty okay with that. The last several months really have been just so emotional, both for me and for my family. The ups and downs of my recovery and doctor's visits and all that stuff. I understand that going out and running 13 miles probably sounds like torture to a lot of people, but for me, being able to go through my normal Sunday morning routine and head out for my long run, I really do feel blessed. All right, let's go see if I got a half marathon in me. When I was a kid, I remember my dad telling me that he used to get his best thinking done when he was out running. And all I could think was, man, when I run, all I can think is, how soon can I stop running? Well, it must be something that comes with age, because now that I've reached the age that my dad was back then, I completely understand. It's nothing like getting out on the road, clearing your mind. And now more than ever, I think less and less about all the little crap that went on during the week, stress and job and money, and think more and more about all the stuff that I'm truly grateful for. And sure, only a year ago, I would have been the first one to scoff at all those 30 days of gratitude things you would see on social media. But the universe has a bit of a sick sense of humor. And let's just say, after the year I've had, I've learned to appreciate and understand the importance of gratitude in your everyday life. So when I'm out here on a long run, I may not always look like I'm having a good time, but I'm truly grateful for just the ability to run, for the fact that I have an incredible family, an incredible support system behind me. From the minute I got out of the hospital, I realized just how deep that support system goes. It wasn't just my wife and my parents and my sister and my in-laws and my friends. I knew that they were all awesome. It was the kindness and generosity of relative strangers that really took me by surprise. Not just the cards and gifts and food that would show up at the house, but the people I didn't even know that well who would call and offer to cook or to mow my lawn. So when I'm out here running and all of that stuff is still really fresh in my mind, I just think to myself, how do you repay that? That's it, that's the halfway point. So I'm just gonna go turn around, do the same thing in reverse. So when I started trying to think of ways that I could pay it forward, and I didn't even know where to start, so I did what anybody would do. I turned to Facebook. I wanted to find a local charity that was directly helping families that have been affected by a medical issue the same way my family had been. And that's how I found out about this incredible organization called Wings for Falmouth Families. They give 100% of the donations they receive directly to families in Falmouth who are dealing with a medical issue, either for a parent or for a child. And since I was so grateful to be back running again, I came up with an idea. On June 14th of this year, to celebrate being 1 year post-surgery, also known as my aortaversary, my plan is to run the same route that my MedFlight helicopter traveled from the emergency room at Good Samaritan Hospital in Brockton all the way to Brigham and Women's in Boston. And I'm not sure if they'll let me finish up on the helicopter pad on the roof, but that would be pretty cool. And even cooler and more important to me is to be able to do this as a fundraiser for Wings for Falmouth Families. Because I truly want to pay forward all the generosity that was shown to me and to my family when we really needed it. So if you're interested in helping me support Wings for Falmouth Families, there's a couple of different ways you can do that. Number one, it's super easy to make a donation on their website. And remember, every dollar you donate is going to go directly to help a family in need. And number two, if you're not in a position to make a donation, I completely understand that. Just do me a favor and share this video so we can raise as much awareness for Wings for Falmouth Families as possible. And number three, you could always just join me on my next long run. I could always use the company.
Well, that's it. That's 13.1 miles. I'm tired, but good start.